So it was requested of me to do a little tutorial on MAME. I'm going to show you how to do it, and it's quite easy. You're going to want to basically have the modules you need, which you could even get from my core set. And I'm going into uninstall extra modules. The only thing I have installed right now is my extra space module. I have nothing else installed. I'm going to go into my modules, and in order to run any of these cores, you have to have RetroArch installed. That is a must. So I have RetroArch here, I'm clicking it, and I want to run MAME, and my preference is MAME 2003. It runs over 75% of games quite well. So we have MAME 2003 and RetroArch. I'm going to install just these two right now. You want to have the system pretty much powered off, and you go into the power and reset away from you for a few seconds to go into this flash process. Now, after these two cores install, I'm going to show you how I add games so that they work with MAME. And Final Burn Alpha is a good alternative for arcade games. I just prefer MAME 2003 because I've had great success with running just a ton of games with it. But when you get into some of the larger Metal Slug games like Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug 5, they don't work with MAME 2003, but they work with Final Burn Alpha 2012 and Final Burn Alpha 2012 Neo Geo variant. So we're uploading MAME 2003 and RetroArch to the SNES Classic right now. And this works the exact same way on the NES Classic. I mean, the cores are merged together, so they'll work on both systems now. You can look at my other videos to see my core set along with a link. But the mods are almost done installing, so we're going to go to add the MAME games now. And I'll show you my general setup for this. I'm just going to add 3 quick games. Okay, now that this is done, I'm going to go to my file at the top left. File, add more games. Then I'm going to go to the folder that I threw a couple MAME games into for right now. And I'm going to add Bad Dudes. So I'm just going to click open. I'm going to add it as an archive. Import as archive. And once it's added, I'll show you what I do. Now if you go into the modules here, and you look at the little readme to the right that I put in there, it says /bin/MAME 2003. So that's what I need as my command line argument in order to run this. So where it says bin zip, zip is actually the extension of the format that you added. You want to erase the zip and make it say MAME 2003 and make sure you have a space afterwards. Then I'm doing my normal prefix system here. I'm going to just make it arcade, Bad Dudes. And I'm going to add some artwork. I'll just Google for Bad Dudes. Hopefully I'll get a quick result here. And sometimes you'll get a quicker result if you just leave the standard name in. By me adding the arcade prefix before I added the art, it could backfire on me. I'll show you what I mean. So if I just change that to Bad Dudes Arcade, and then I search for the art, I should get a quicker result. Okay, we have that. Now that I did that, I'm going to change the prefix back. Because remember, whatever you have in this name section is what it's searching Google for. So I have that selected. I'm going to add 2 more games. I'm going to add Double Dragon. Same thing, import as archive. This time I'm going to change this to Arcade Double Dragon. And then I'm going to Google search for the art. And I should get a fairly quick result because I have a proper search name. And that's the Neo Geo one. One of these should give me Double Dragon. So I got a couple Double Dragon 3s and Double Dragon Arcade. Come on now. I do have all the artwork on my computer though, but I'm just doing it this way. There we go. Double Dragon Arcade. I'm going to change that to prefix of the arcade with Double Dragon. And bin/zip is going to be MAME 2003. Then I'm going to add one more game. We'll add Pac-Man. Import as archive. And I don't even think I have to do much. I could probably Google this and find a million search results for Pac-Man. And I'll just leave that on there for now, even though there are other ones. So, arcade, Pac-Man. And the bin/zip needs to be MAME 2003. And each arcade core that you use has its own set of variables as far as command lines. Like Final Burn Alpha would be FBA. But right now I'm using MAME 2003, so that's what I'm using. Now I'm going into my settings. Pages, folder structure, custom show folder manager every time. I'm going to click sync. Then I'm just going to make a MAME folder. Then I'm going to add an icon here. And I have a few here that I put together before. I'll use this. Then I'm going to go to my unsorted. I'm going to take these arcade games and cut them over to my MAME folder. Now I'm going to just flash. I have my RetroArch installed, my MAME 2003 installed, and now I'm flashing the games over. Now we're going to test the system and see how MAME runs. And I have done other videos about why certain MAME games may not run as far as Final Burn Alpha as well, so you might want to watch some of those. And I lost my camera there for a second, so we're going to do a little test. And I got to power off my system and power it back on because I lost the controller. So we should be back in action in a second. But anyways, I did a why does XX game not work on YY system, and it kind of explains the variables as far as ROM sets and the BIOS configurations, etc. between the new and old ROMs. I mean, it's a little technical, but you'll get an idea if you watch the video. So I'm going into my MAME folder, and we'll try out Double Dragon. I'm using my select button to insert coins. Once it gets past the BIOS, of course. And we have Double Dragon. This is just a fantastic arcade game, and when they put this on mobile phones, I had to buy the trilogy. We got Double Dragon working. Let's test out our other two arcade games that I flashed over. We'll try out Bad Dudes, which has a guest appearance by Karnov, another Data East character that is an awesome game. This one's working quite well. Now the interesting thing about Bad Dudes and Double Dragon is that over the course of over 20 plus years that I've been using MAME, these two ROM sets have not really changed. They've had very, very minor core set changes to the ROM itself. That's why you could use this on MAME 2003, MAME 2010, and Final Burn Alpha 2012 just the same. So we're doing our last test game, Pac-Man. And that's the BIOS initialization screen. And we have success in all three MAME games. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. Let's go into our quick menu, settings, frame throttle. I'm going to turn rewind on. I'm going to back. Then I'm going to go to quick menu again. Control, it'd be options. No, sorry, controls. I'm jumping around here, sorry. It's under input. Sorry, I kind of misfired there for a second. I had a little bit of a brain fart, but yeah, basically you have to go to settings and enable the rewind feature. Then you can go into the input hotkey binds, and I'm going to turn on rewind. I'm going to make it my R1 key on my controller. Then I'm going to do a slow motion as well. And I'll make that my L1. Now I'm going to back up, resume, so I can rewind the game and play slow motion. Now if I die, I can rewind. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video and hope this helps you run MAME.